Imagine a company that knows you better than you know yourself. They know where you go every day, they know who your friends are and what friends you have in common, what hobbies you share with those friends, and they can even accurately guess whether or not you have children or pets. They can learn almost all of this without ever having to ask you, because you already tell them everything. You don't have to imagine it, though. This company already exists. It's Google. Hey everyone, welcome to what even is this show called anymore? Well, I guess this Cricket's Campfire still. I want to talk about something that's been concerning me for a while, Google and online privacy. We've touched on this topic before, but recently it's reared its ugly head again. It's come to light that Google, who we already know collects an obscene amount of information, is taking even more than we thought through their web browser, Google Chrome, on iOS. Apple's recently made privacy labels mandatory, forcing companies on Apple devices to display what information they collect from their users. Let me tell you, it's a lot. Between the most common web browsers, Chrome, Safari, Edge, and Firefox, by far, Chrome takes in the most information. By far. Browsing history, financial data, location history, information about your phone, your unique advertising ID. That's the one to keep in mind. Advertising. That's what a lot of this comes down to. Why take in so much information? So they know what they can advertise to you. Google's ad revenue from 2020 was just shy of $150 billion. That's a single year. It's also about 80% of their $180 billion in total revenue. All of the information they absorb from their litany of sources helps them do a number of different things. On the more useful end, they use it to customize the user experience. They figure out how to improve your experience with their products. Connected programs make for easier use, especially between different devices. On a wider scale, they use it to fine-tune algorithms to be more accurate and efficient. But, on the other side, and a bit more insidious, they use it to target you with ads. Ads match based on everything they know about you to hopefully convince you to let go of some of your money. Now, you may be thinking, they can't possibly know that much about me. And maybe you're right. Some people go through and uncheck every box, never let Google in as far as they'd like. It was only last June when Google started setting those boxes to be off by default. If your account is older than that, there's a good chance that all those settings to protect privacy from Google's specific eyes are still allowing them in. And they'll keep that information indefinitely, unless you tell them to delete it. Now, if you have a second, let's do a little experiment. If you have a Google account, head over to Google. Click your account in the top right. Navigate to Manage Your Account and find Ad Personalization. If you have it set to off, congratulations. Google isn't collecting as much data about you. They still are, but at least they're not using it to advertise to you. If it's set to on, however, you'll see some interesting things. Now, this is something that I didn't even know about myself until recently. My writer/editor pointed it out to me. If you scroll down, you can find all the little things that Google thinks it knows about you, as well as your interests. Here's a little bit about mine before I turned off my preferences. We'll go with the obvious ones first, according to Google. I'm 25 to 34 years old. That's correct. I'm interested in audio equipment. Well, obviously. I'm interested in consumer electronics, which I guess so. I like dogs and cats. Now, for some more obscure references, some of those correct and some of those incorrect. Diecast and toy vehicles. That was probably my children's search result. Honestly, I don't remember searching for it. I may have, but I don't think it was me. Custom and performance vehicles. That was definitely my kid. My 11-year-old is super into all those sports cars and special cars out there. Fashion and style. Okay. Well, I mean, maybe once I Googled this. I don't remember, and I don't particularly care about my fashion or style. That's why I'm on podcasts instead of on TV. Here's the funniest. Parent, not a parent. Right below it, I'm interested in parenting. Engine and transmission. This is actually an impressive reference. I don't Google this information often, but the fact that it's recorded here is intriguing to me. Nintendo. Funnily enough, this seems to be a link to YouTube. I don't recall Googling anything directly related to Nintendo, but I'm interested in it, so they definitely got it right. Does Google think you like sports? You get a little button for sports. Are you married? You get one for that. Have kids? There it is. What industry is your job in? They'll make a guess if they can. Are you a man or a woman? Well, that they don't even have to guess. It's probably listed in your account information. These are all basically you. These are just some of the things you let Google know. It's not just trivia, it's identifying information. A lot of people share their name, their face, where they live, all for convenience. In exchange for knowing everything there is to know about you, that they care about anyway, they pick and choose the ads most likely for you to click on from a pool of the highest bidders. What's going to get you to spend money? What's going to make these advertisers continue to go through Google and pay them another $150 billion this year? Maybe that's all right with you. Some people do enjoy ads that they might want, instead of the background noise of things they're never going to buy. But I feel you should at least get to be the one who decides what information they have and are allowed to take and use against you. Just remember, when something is free, you might not be paying with money, but you are paying with something else.